Hi everyone, I'm trying out my new setup, so I just bought a new camera to do vlogs and also to do content while walking. I have a microphone with it, so I hope the sound quality should be better, the image should be less shaky, so it should be perfectly the perfect solution basically for the new type of content I'm aiming to do, which is basically do some more content in English and maybe also a bit more in French outside of tournament and battle report, and just share sometimes some thoughts, less structured, but I think there are enough topic to talk about related to the 9th age, and this is for me a good occasion to do it. Basically, I'm recording this, it's a Monday, like 11 o'clock in Switzerland, the weather is not too bad, and I'm just walking to the school to get my kids. It's a 20-minute walk for adults, a bit more for the kids on the way back, but I think it's good for them also to learn that you can also move, and it's totally okay to walk 25 minutes even if you are 4-year-old. That's something you can do, and even if the weather is bad. So I try to do it every Monday, even if the weather conditions are really bad. I think it's also good for them to learn that it's totally okay to do that, and life is not always comfortable. So I think it's also part of the lessons you want to teach to your kids, to just make them ready for life, because that's what we are doing as parents. Anyway, we are Monday, just back from the Bellum Lacum. You probably saw my vlog video. Give me a feedback if you liked it. It was the first attempt, so I didn't make all perfect caption. I thought that not all videos were in landscape format, and therefore it's not perfect. It's not the best to display the image. So next time I will make sure that I take all of them in landscape. I think I found what was the issue. I made the choice to record no sound, to just make it basically about the image that I record, but no sound at all. And therefore it makes easier for me also, because first of all it's easier to put together the video afterwards. It was for me the best question: does it need a lot of after work to put the video together? Because as you can imagine, I recorded a lot of separate sequences which were pretty short, and therefore you have a bit of work to do in putting everything together. And I was asking myself, is it going to be much work or not? But actually it was totally fine. I think I did like 30 minutes to search the music, put everything together. But yeah, it's fine. I think it's something I can accept in terms of work. Salut. And therefore, I'm quite happy with the way it went. I could have collected, I think, more, maybe to mix it also with image, but as soon as I put other sources of information in it, being image and so on, it needs some collect. I need to collect the picture first, to wait for the people to send me, then to choose the one I want to put into, and then different sources mean always more work. So I went for something quite efficient to be able to release it soon and not make too much work. I will see in which way this evolves for me in the future, but I think it was a nice first attempt to put everything together and give you in 5 minutes a short overview. What is Bellum Lacum about? How does it work? And I think it went quite well. And it's also for me cool that I can finally share some content with my relatives. For example, you can send that to your parents and show them, okay, this is what we do on those weekends, on those special weekends. So I think, it was quite nice. I received some good feedback already, so I hope you enjoyed that as well. Bellum Lacum, was a great event. I don't want to spoil my matches, because I know that some of the guys don't go into new recruit to keep the surprise for the battle report. I think it's always better to watch a battle report if you don't know the result before. Obviously, you get more surprise and you don't know about the exact event. So I think it's always better not to know the result. So I would encourage you to not watch my result before the battle report. I think it's better this way, or at least that's what I'm doing with the people I watch battle report from, because I enjoy it more when I don't know the score. Because if you know the end of the story, it's less intriguing. There is less suspense. Anyway, less tension. So I won't spoil my result in this video, but I can say that as a team we ended up second, which was a great result. We faced the two best Italian team, which ended up first and second. First and third, and I think overall the top three makes a lot of sense if you look at the overall result during the weekend, because basically we beat Team Piloli, who ended up third. Piloli did beat Spice Girl, who ended up first, and Spice Girl did beat us, who ended up second. So basically everyone on the podium beat another team. And that's quite interesting. I think it shows also that we had maybe some meta or scenario, I don't know, sometimes that could have evolved the way the matchup goes. But yeah, it was very intriguing. We did play the final against the Spice Girl. I think we were in leading position at that point of time. We had like, I don't recall, like 8 or 7 points margin before. And the last one was very standoffish, and that would be my topic of the video. I talk a little bit about the money time, because there are always a moment in tournament, if you compete for top spot, even if you compete for podium, you could be middle of the pack and trying to compete for the podium, you always have key moment where you know the way it will be decided, you can start to calculate and yeah, try to adjust your game plan and I would say your risk management according to the way it goes and the number of points that you need. Basically, my point here is, and I think not everybody will agree with me. Some guys will tell, yeah, just try to play some interesting game. I want to open matchup as much as possible because that's what I'm enjoying on the table. And basically, I open every game, even in the money time. I want open game, volatile game, because that's what I'm enjoying. And I'm coming here to enjoy games. And I get that point. I respect that and I have no problem against that. I'm just trying to show my point in doing things in a more calculated manner to try to achieve result, because that was my goal. That was my goal for this tournament. We thought, okay, maybe we can reach a podium, we will see. And to make that happen, to make the result go the way you want to, if you have a particular goal, then you need to start to calculate and make strategies for that. And basically that's what I tried to do with my teammates. And I think it was quite interesting, because we had a position where the last two primary that we played, because we had 2 primary each round, which by the way I don't like much. I think it's better in the current version to just make it 1 primary for everybody the same round, because basically it starts to allow you to play more specified lists. You could basically, if I want to take it to an extreme, you could basically play some very specific list targeting. You look at the number of primary that we have, and for example you can play a heavy ambushing list to target divide and conquer and breakthrough, for example, and be very strong on that. So I think it can lead to some unbalances or could push you towards imbalances for your list, and I don't like much. And also it also cancels some of the variety of the matchup you might get. For example, me, I ended up playing 2-time Trophies of War, I think 1-time Divide. I didn't play all the center, I didn't play breakthrough, so I didn't play several of them. And yeah, I prefer when I play 5 different objectives basically during the tournament, because I think it's also good for to make sure that also your list is balanced. So I think overall everything leads toward this way. But back to my point, I was saying basically we had a bit of margin, and with a draw we knew that also the team that was third could, if I have that correctly in mind, I think they couldn't jump over us, or we needed something very close to a draw, but we didn't need to win big basically, and we could basically try to close, and I think that's the purpose here, is to close the game as much as possible. You want to reduce volatility, to make the game rather close and force your opponent to increase the volatility by taking risk. And as often in this game, when you're the one taking initiatives, it's much more risky and it might go bad, especially on primary like Trophies of War, where the one taking the risk might be the one losing it, because it's not so easy to make the planification of the trophies you might get. So therefore, yeah, I think my initial comment to my teammate was, guy, try to close the table, make them take the risk, not take the game ourselves. Let's take them the risk. I think the pairing was okay. I want to analyze it more in detail, but I have some self-critique on myself for the pairing. I think could have been better. I think it was pretty drawish in our point of view, but at the same time we slightly misjudged 2 matchups that we didn't know well. One was Soul Enchant, very special with a lot of flying units, the swarms and so on, so very unusual list, lead very often to misjudgment of matchup, and therefore can lead you towards a bad pairing. And I think that's exactly what happened. We were surprised by the UD also, who was misjudged by our Demon Legion player. And therefore you get with wrong estimation, so you think it's the worst you can get, because sometimes you think that the matchup is going to be good, so you make the pairing for it, you ended up getting it, and actually it's not so good. And therefore you probably sacrifice other interesting matchup in favor of this one, because you saw they were as equally good, which was not the case. So matchup rating is very crucial, and therefore least surprise will always be a thing, and especially even more I think at ETC level, because surprise leads towards misjudgment of matchup, and therefore most likely suboptimal pairing and potential surprise at the table as well. And that's what happened. So I think that was part of the problem. But even then, with our matrix, I think it was possible to achieve something better. I'm looking forward to look more in detail into that. But anyway, yeah, we ended up trying to do that with on 2 tables, and the other 2 a bit less. We went a bit out of that plan with more volatile game. Ourselves, I have the impression, because I ended up my game really quick against my opponent, where I just won the secondary. So there will be no battle report for this one, because I just won the secondary from the roll. It was conserve the numbers. My opponent could do nothing about that. He couldn't attack me. I couldn't really attack him, because as soon as I tried to push, it did some damage to my unit. Too much for me to continue the push, so I turned around, back the unit, and we ended up shaking at the middle of the game, because it made no point. Nobody of us was going to take any point. So I ended up pretty happy about that one, because yeah, it's the type of game we wanted to close. No volatility. You end up with 11 points with no risk taken, which is what was our purpose on 4 tables. The only problem is we didn't have that on other 2 tables, and therefore we went a bit out of that plan, and we ended up losing badly. And I think, yeah, it was a key moment. I think at the end it's up to the player. It's the player playing. So we can take time out, which we did. You can discuss about the option, what you want to do, and at the end it's a player responsibility to, because he knows best his army, to either go for it or not go for it. And you learn from that. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world at all. But yeah, this potentially some game plan we took has potentially cost us the first place. I put it that way. That's my feeling. I think also one of the matchup was a bit complicated, a bit negative. So I don't mind taking a bit more risk on this one, because if you're already thinking you're losing a bit, you're not going to all the 10 points, you're probably going around 7, then you might as well take some risk and try to go for the win. So I get that. But anyway, it was interesting. I think the main thing for us is, yeah, taking experience, learning from the matches. We are all close after the update, so we need to learn still about the matchup, the list, and so on. Congratulations to the Italian team who did 1st and 3rd spot, well deserved. It was so cool to see 6 Italian teams coming to this tournament. So 24 Italian were there, a lot of French, some Swiss as well. Anyway, I start to be close to the school and the center of the village, so it gets more noisy, so I'm going to close the video here. Hope you enjoyed it. It was okay to listen to until now, and all the buses and so on going near me. And talk to you soon. Take care, goodbye. Wish you a very good day.